The Wild Asia team have been able to travel along in the jungle, and it has also been possible to draw very close to the different species and creatures that we encounter in these jungle spaces. And having done so, we are able to bring to you rarely seen images and events as they occur. So this is very special in that where other people don't usually travel, we do, and we are able to bring these as reports to you for your enjoyment and for you also to be able to learn something and draw close in turn to the creatures of the forest. And now we are ready with another report, and we hope that you will be able to travel with us. Are you ready? You know, often it is found in the jungle that species of animals have to work together for the survival of them both. Yes, this sometimes is referred to as symbiosis. And you would have observed on many occasions the tiniest of creatures depend on very large animals and vice versa. Yes, so this is a necessary element found amongst the animals, but not so abundantly amongst humans. And by observing what does take place, there's a lot that we can learn. Well, this is one of those symbiotic scenes.
The pig, wallowing in mud, seemed as though it was relaxing on a luxurious bed in complete contentment. The myna, flying about in search of food, saw the little mites walking around on this mobile food store. The myna started pecking at the mites without causing any discomfort to the pig. After all, it performed a great service to rid the pig of the parasites. This is the mutual bonding of the jungle. The myna procured its food while the pig got a cleaning service, as if it were an agreement between them. Small countries get sustenance from bigger countries, don't they?
There are those who assume that they rule the roost wherever they are. That's why you get these oddbods here and there in places imagining that they are the cock of the walk. However, in the jungle, those who assume such greatness upon themselves usually get it all wrong, right?
Breaking a sheaf of leaves from a tamarind tree and tasting it, this young bull elephant seems in the mood for a bath. This is the age that even our youngsters resist parental authority, indulging in activities that please them most. Like an adventurous youngster, it jumped into the water. As soon as it pours some water on its body, in an attempt to dampen his enthusiasm, a huge crocodile approaches. As if ready to take the crocodile on, the elephant swam forward. Though water is the croc's domain, the young bull elephant was not deterred and advanced as if ready for a fight. Can you imagine what happened? The crocodile got frightened and swam back faster than it came. The elephant still chased the crocodile, apparently to show us, his spectators, that he was the superior of the two. But reason reigned, and the elephant came out of the water realizing that too much exhibitionism with a crocodile may be to its disadvantage, and the second round may not turn out as the first. There is a saying that goes like this: know the height of the stile before you scale it. It is the crocodile that knows the depth of the water.
Do you know how the science of aeronautics was developed? Well, taking into account balance and aerodynamics, those principles were observed first in the flight of birds, we are told. But when you take a look at this bird in flight, one would have to assume that that is perhaps true.
This bird, the lesser adentant, has a fairly large body and is seen alone or in pairs. It is a bird that walks very slowly. To see this bird soaring in the skies adds beauty to the jungle scenery.
Charles Darwin is the one who proposed the modern theory of evolution. And according to that, the ancestor of humans is the monkey. Now, when we take a look at these monkeys, one wonders whether there's any truth in that. You know, these monkeys, whatever it is that they lay hold of, they want to eat it. So having observed that, we sometimes wonder whether the story has some truth in it.
The grey langur monkey is a mammal indigenous to Sri Lanka. The grey langur eats tender shoots and leaves, flowers and fruits, as well as grain. Though mainly herbivorous, it eats insects too. Usually it moves in groups, but loners, like this one, are sometimes seen.
You may have observed this yourself, that weak animals tend to kind of associate together and remain as one group. And because of this fact, even the fiercest enemy sometimes is not very eager to get too close because of those numbers. And this is what is meant by the phrase, unity is strength. And you would reckon that for us too, there's a very powerful lesson to be observed.
The unlimited enchantment of the jungle rests on the lilting rhythm of life of the uncountable variety of animals. These animals live in their own groups. This herd of deer, drinking just a drop of water from this dried waterway, know that it is comparable to their lifeblood. They are recorded by the Wild Asia team who have captured their enduring innocence. These deer are indeed innocent. They live in herds in the jungles of the wet zone as well as in the dry zone. They show a partiality to open grasslands. This animal, which is particularly fond of drinking water several times a day, can be seen near waterways or waterholes in the parched jungles. The greatest dangers to this animal are the lurking shadows of the leopard and man.
Here in Sri Lanka, the Singharaja is a World Heritage Site, a rainforest with an abundance of biodiversity. And it is our aim that the Wild Asia TV team would take you across the Singharaja jungle in order that we will be able to reveal to you some of the great secrets and the life forms that do exist and live in the rainforest. This is a very special rainforest and one of the oldest in the world. So this is the first step that we're taking in our effort to bring it close to you.
Two of our main rivers start from Singharaja. These little flowers open their petals as the rays of the morning sun touches them. Their faint fragrance goes hand in hand with the untouched purity of Singharaja. The shrub jungle underneath the canopy of the taller trees is home to millions of tiny creatures. Sunlight never touches the forest floor of Singharaja. The forest floor, lulled by the sound of the many tiny rivulets, compares aptly with the breath of Mother Nature. Her breathing can be heard in the dark night and silent dawn. In the Singharaja forest live myriads of animals, birds, and microorganisms. The world does not see them, but we are trying to get close to them and know them better. A rare butterfly, or lizard, or microorganism that lives amidst these branches will never realize its special place in the world animal community. They may be an important cog in the cycle of wildlife, which is so rare as to be indigenous to Singharaja alone. Singharaja, an evergreen rainforest, is a unique and extremely rich gift of nature, endowed with a wide and rare biodiversity, including extremely rare plants. Spread over an area of 23,000 acres like an evergreen carpet, Singharaja has an important place in the world's jungle map. It has won accolades for our motherland and has got its place as a World Heritage Site. To biologists the world over, Singharaja is a very popular laboratory for their work and research. The book on the biodiversity of Singharaja is still incomplete.
There seems to be a veneer of peace and quiet, but underneath that's not what it is here in the jungle. Quite often there's a lot of bloodletting and a great deal of violence that is behind this veneer of peace and quiet. And often that which is powerful loses the battle. So what about this law of the jungle, the survival of the fittest? Not always so.
One evening, the bear was up a Manilkara hexaphora tree, enjoying its fruit. Suddenly, it spotted a lone tiger cub. Forgetting the delicacy it was relishing, down it came towards the tiger cub, not with any good intention to be sure. The tigress, in the meantime, witnessed the bear approaching the cub. With true motherly love, the tigress pounced on the bear with the intention of saving her cub. A very rare fight in the jungle ensued between the tigress and the bear. The tiger, in the true role of a mother, momentarily forgetting the viciousness of the bear, went head-on into the fight. A fight of this nature is not a frequent occurrence in the jungle. Each knows its power and rarely faces a confrontation. But in this instance, the bear had to retreat, unable to fight the mother tiger's assault. A winner maintains that status only till it gets defeated.
Just as in the case of humans, birds too have responsibilities that devolve upon them. And when it comes to protecting eggs after having laid them and then, sitting on them, this is a responsibility that is taken very seriously. And in the case of this bird, it does seem to abide by a very high standard of protectiveness. Why? Because of its fondness for the offspring that will sooner or later arrive.
Yellow-wattled lapwing. Don't you think the name is a fitting description of this lovely bird? It likes to live in pairs. It makes its nest with stones, roots, and dead leaves in a slight depression on the forest floor. It pays great attention to sitting on its eggs and cleverly protects them from enemies. This is such an instance. You would notice from these pictures that the eggs blend in so well with the background. It is also regarded as a very intelligent bird. The Wild Asia team wishes these yellow-wattled lapwing hatchlings a long, long life.
At this time of evening, what interesting and fearsome things must take place in the jungles. Well, even as we speak, the Wild Asia teams are out and about in the jungle somewhere, or maybe on the edge of a river bank, or even under some monstrous tree, observing and reporting on what is taking place. So, we hope to bring you some hot news of events as they have occurred in the jungle and bring it along in our program for next week. And we trust that you enjoyed what was presented today, and hopefully you will join us again. But for now, good night.